Hello and thanks for joining us for the Midday News. NCD Governor Powers Pakop is calling on the government to find social and economic solutions to the many hold-ups and petty crimes in the city. Governor Pakop, in a press statement, said the hold-ups and petty crimes are becoming weekly happenings in the city, and the governments, both at national and subnational levels, must find social and economic solutions that stop young people from drifting to crime, especially hold-ups. He highlighted these interventions while commenting on the tragic killings at Tokarara suburb in Port Moresby on Monday. Pakop also called for an urgent need for a permanent appointment of NCD and Central Police Commander and immediate release of funding for the proposed CCTV project in the city. A senior police officer has called for more highway patrol stations to be built along the proposed areas of the Connect PNG program. Acting Director of Highway Patrol, Senior Inspector Philip Koliadi, said that currently there are no highway patrol stations established on most of the highways in the country. He said in line with the Connect PNG program, it is important to have established highway patrol stations to protect these roads. Koliadis raised concerns that drug smuggling and human trafficking are common crimes along the highways, and having more police presence is very important. The stations will enable highway patrol officers to conduct road safety awareness also to the communities. Midday tourism stakeholders have committed to addressing security concerns after recent incidents involving cruise ship tourists in the region. This assurance was given to Carnival Cruises during World Tourism Day following a two-day consultation with the cruise line security advisor Mike Wilson. Tour operators including Kiriwina-based Giyobu Tosieru and Alotau's Jonathan Sowelu emphasized the need for local stakeholders to take full ownership of security to prevent future incidents. Midday Tourism Bureau Manager Modakula Konuyobu and Board Chairman Jack Purai echoed these calls, stressing the importance of collaboration among tourism operators. Carnival Cruises, which operates P&O cruise ships that visit Alotau, Trobriand and Conflict Islands, welcomed the commitment, noting that improved security is essential for the continued arrival of cruise ships to Papua New Guinea. A New South Wales man charged with the domestic violence murder of his wife has been refused bail. Giselle Wakatama is following the case and reports from the Newcastle local court.
Stands accused of the domestic violence murder of his wife Natalie on Friday night. Police charge sheets tendered in court say that between 6 p.m. and 6:15 p.m. there was a concern for welfare. That prompted a call to police and they arrived shortly after. Now, at that point, police have said that they took Stephen Golchick into custody and he was later charged at Cessnock Police Station. The scene at the Pecolbin property the couple shared has been described as confronting, and that paramedics who had attended could not revive Natalie Golchick. So today was the appearance in court. Stephen Golchick decided to stay in the cells below the courthouse as his matter was heard. Now, he didn't apply for bail and it was formally refused, and the case was adjourned for a further 8 weeks, and that's to allow for a brief of evidence to be compiled.
Vanuatu Prime Minister Charlotte Salwai Tabimasmas delivered a hard-hitting address to the 79th session of the UN General Assembly in New York Friday, slamming global inaction on climate change, international financial reform, and decolonization. In his speech, Tabimasmas called it a betrayal of the international community's commitment to protecting vulnerable nations from its devastating impacts. Tabi Mastmas pointed out that small island developing states like Vanuatu bear the brunt of climate-induced disasters, including rising sea levels and unpredictable weather patterns. The Vanuatu leader emphasized that climate action is a global responsibility, and he called for industrialized nations to be held accountable for their contributions to the climate crisis. Most Australian states initially banned ChatGPT and other generative AI tools in government schools. But since then, many jurisdictions have reconsidered their stance, and schools have started trialing their own AI tools, believing the benefits of AI outweigh the significant risks and challenges. Schools in South Australia were among the first beginning their trial towards the end of last year.
Because of the worries about student privacy and security. So about more than a year ago, they developed their own tool called AdChat, and that tool is being used first in 8 schools, then in a second round of trial in additional 8 schools, and now the last I know is that the government will be expanding the rollout of this tool to even more schools. So effectively, the point of this trial was really to learn how to use AI, because honestly, it's a very new technology. Nobody knows what's the best way to use it. So the goal of the initial trial was, let's see what teachers are making use of it, how it's impacting the learning, what they can do with this, rather than trying to enforce a very specific way of using the tool before we know how what's the best way to do that. Effectively used in a classroom, first of all, it's used by teachers for a bunch of different activities to generate materials, to personalize learning, to help them with time management, all of the things that are very beneficial for them. Also being used by students as well in different learning activities, to brainstorm ideas, to stop the roadblock, and also importantly, used while they're home, because the tool has been available to them 24/7. So it's very beneficial for them when there are no teachers around at 10 p.m. They can use the tool and get some feedback, get some support from AI. This tool in South Australia would do that. In a sense, you could ask it to do that, but it's been obviously against the rules. But the tool itself didn't have a limitation on something like that, because it would do what you're asking him to do, but obviously teachers would know that. So it's been, the focus was more on, let's see what we can learn from interaction, rather than try to limit and make a very specific version of the tool. The New South Wales government did a bit later, earlier this year, they started trialing. They did another version, they did a took different approach, where they actually just built a tutoring system. So it's a much more restrictive, but of course it took them well more time to do that, and technology changed in the meantime. The point is, they still can use it at home, even if the department is limiting this one. Everybody can sign up for ChatGPT at home and use it for writing the assignment. So that's really, that's not going to save it anyway.
And now in sports, the Autonomous Sevens Cup tournament concluded successfully on Sunday at the KVN Courthouse Oval. The tournament, funded by the NIP provincial government, costing 50,000 kina and supporting sponsors including TWL and Capital Rugby Union, apart from New Ireland Rugby Union. This is the second Autonomy Cup, in line with the NIRU's continued efforts to create a central avenue for the best in the code to showcase in the province.
Town Reds men's team proved too strong for Aran 24-0 in the grand final of the second edition of the Autonomous Sevens Cup on Sunday. Reds were crowned cup champions with a major cash prize of 5,000 kina, while runners-up Aran got 4,000. Player of the tournament was Augustine Andras from Reds. In the men's plate final, Physical defeated Force City 15-14, taking out the cash prize of 3,000 and 2,000 respectively. In the bowls, Corners beat Mangai 14-10 with cash incentives of 1,000 and 800 kina respectively. In the women's grand final, Lux Bay too strong for Kopkop 12-0 and received 1,000, while runners-up got 800 kina. In the third and fourth playoff, Snappers 19 beat Fundas 10 with cash monies of 600 and 500 respectively. New Ireland Rugby Union President Charles Melachon congratulated the winners and individual awardees for their hard work and dedication that have truly paid off. Melachon also acknowledged all the teams who registered and participated with such enthusiasm and sportsmanship. In his closing remarks, the President expressed immense pride and gratitude to everyone, the participating teams and major stakeholders such as the New Ireland Provincial Government through the leadership of Sir Julius Chan, who continues to believe in their aspirations, and supporting partners Total Waste Management and Capital Rugby Union under the leadership of CEO and President Corey Chan for their unwavering support and have been instrumental in making this event a great success. The theme of the autonomy is close to our hearts, and rugby plays a significant role in promoting this agenda. Melachon said such commitment has enabled New Ireland Rugby to facilitate such tournaments to ensure that stakeholders and players alike have the opportunity to showcase their skills. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that ends our news update. Do join us at 6 tonight for more news and sports.